and welcome to Whisky Whims with me, Stuart. Today I believe it's my 14th review, I might be wrong, it might be my 15th. Anyhow, today I'm going to be looking at Kilkerran Heavily Peated, and this is batch number 1, which I recently purchased from a shop in Bridge of Allen called Woodwinters, and Kilkerran were there doing a kind of tasting and showing off their brand new whisky, which is the Heavily Peated. It spent 55% of its time in ex-bourbon casks and the 45% rest in ex-sherry casks. It's 3 years old, and the fella there, who originally from Springbank and is now doing some product stuff for Kilkerran, his name was Grant. He's told me that they originally wanted to release it as soon as possible. I believe it was about 2 years old, and when they were tasting it they were saying how good it was, but obviously under Scottish law, for whisky to be a whisky it has to be 3 years old. So they waited until 3 year old and they released it. I do believe that they'll be doing releases like this, the Heavily Peated. They'll do other batches, so batch 2, batch 3, and they'll come some years down the line. So a little bit about the Glengyle distillery, where Kilkerran comes from. In 1872 it was founded by William Mitchell. By 1925 I believe it was closed down, unfortunately. 75 years later, the current chair of Springbank, Mr. Headley Wright, he bought over the grounds and the buildings at Glengyle in 2000. I think in 2004 that's when they kind of started producing, and that's when it was brought back to life. So we have very young whiskies, however it's a very old distillery. I think it's the oldest distillery in Campbelltown. But yeah, so Headley Wright, he bought it over, and he's actually the great nephew of William Mitchell, who originally founded it. So that's a little background about the whisky itself and the distillery. I don't know if you can hear Jasper's bell, but he's quite distracting, just having a little scratch. Also, there's 84 parts per million of peat in this, so it's going to pack a bit of a peat punch. But when I tried it at the whisky shop in Bridge of Allen, it was outstanding. So I can't wait to try it again. Now this is something that really surprised me the first time I smelt this. I mean, it was only a couple of days ago, so it's fresh in my mind. It's very sweet, a very sweet nose. I was expecting it to be quite peated, but there's not a lot of peat there, it's mainly sweetness. There's some apple. Kind of sweet shop smell to it, like a kind of confectionery, candy shop smell, as if you've just walked into one of those shops. There's also wood fire and wood smoke on the back of the smell there. So for me, I'd say it's a 9 out of 10. It's mainly because of the surprise. I was expecting it to be really peaty, however it's quite sweet. So a 9 out of 10 for the surprise. Now that's where the peat comes through. That was a big punch of peat, definitely. Quite overpowering, but once you get past it, the flavours start to open up and you can taste a lot more. I'd say for a new whisky drinker, this might not be the best whisky to try because the peat is really overpowering and it's hard to pick out the flavours. But once you've kind of took your time with it, these flavours do come through. There's some citrus there, a little citrus flavour, some pear, kind of orchard fruit, maybe some green apples. There's more sweetness coming through now, there's some caramelised sugar, and also possibly some cookie dough sweetness. So for me that's quite full-bodied, quite complex. I wouldn't say it's too, what's the word I'm looking for? I wouldn't say it's too overcomplicated. I mean, the peat does attack it first, but once you get past that, the flavours are brilliant. So I'd say a 9 out of 10 for the palate. The finish is quite, I wouldn't say it's short, but I wouldn't say it's long. I'd say it's right in the middle. It's quite a medium finish. quite peaty, quite earthy, malty, and I believe there's some kind of lemon lingering there at the back. For me, the finish is an 8 out of 10. So overall, I'd give this peat in progress, the heavily peated batch number 1, I'd give this an 8.7 out of 10. £40 for the bottle, 53.9%. You can't argue with that. It's brilliant. I think it's a great dram. I'm looking forward to what else they produce. I also bought the cask strength 8-year-old when I was in the shop, so I'm hoping to review that too. So if you've enjoyed the content, please do subscribe. If you've got any feedback, any questions, I'd love to hear it in the comments section. I've been Stuart, this has been Whisky Whims. I'll see you later.